Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. This is your host, June Archer. My next guest plays Kendra, opposite of Ann Dow, Jake Isaacs, Marthington, and Reed in writer-director Ann Cron's timely new film called Mass. It was released in select theaters in November, and it is earning Oscar buzz for several of its stars. This charismatic actress is a scene stealer. She switches easily between comedy and drama. She is super sassy, soulful. Some of her credits include Grey's Anatomy, SWAT, American Crime Story, Impeachment, Grim Wizards of Waverly Place, at Birth, and Mom, where he talked to the amazing Michelle Ann Carter. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. How are you today? Thank you for having
I'm
me.
I'm amazing. You're amazing. You have been doing some amazing work. But let me first start by asking, how are you and your family doing during this pandemic?
Thank you so much for asking. We are doing well. We're doing well. We're still in it and making it and encouraging each other and just trying to take care and stay healthy and be safe. I have a 6-year-old, so she's our priority to make sure that she stays healthy and safe. And we're just trying to be good to each other, be good to ourselves, and practice self-care and just take care of all of this.
Yes. Now, how important is self care, especially during these times when we aren't seeing so much of our family and friends? We are trying to poke our head out a little bit, get a little fresh air, see a few people.
Mhm.
How has mental health been for you and taking that personal time to kind of just sigh?
There's been a lot of woo-sah. There has been a
A
lot of
lot
woo-sah.
of
It's been a lot. I mean, my husband and I are from Virginia. So in 2020, when everything stopped, we were here in Los Angeles and we weren't able to get to our family. We didn't see my mom until just 2 months ago for the first time in 2 years. So that's been hard. We haven't seen his parents other than Skype and Zoom, and we're thankful for technology. But it plays into a lot for all of us, and parents being sad and a little concerned because they haven't seen us in so long and not having physical contact and not spending honest to goodness face to face time with their grandchild and watching her grow over 2 years on the computer. It takes its toll. We're thankful. We're absolutely thankful for the technology because without it, Lord only knows what where we would
right.
be, not even seeing each other face to face. But it's been very important for me to at least just tap out every now and then and just try and breathe and just take a nap and meditate. I started meditation practice, like, just trying to tap into myself, and working out has played a huge part in that for me, and it has saved my entire being. I'm one of those crazy Peloton people, and it has taken over my life. And I'm thankful for Robin. I'm thankful for Kendall and Dennis and Matt. I'm thankful for them and Tunde and their words. That has been a huge part of my self care, like taking really good care of myself in that respect. And mentally, too. They do a great job of pouring into us as they're trying to help us physically. They try and keep us straight in our heads as well, which is wonderful.
Now, for you, your husband, during this time, has there been any tools that you've added to your tool belt? Things that may have been a hobby or interest. Said, you know what, during time while things have slowed down and maybe the audition process kind of slowed down going in person. Was anything that you guys picked up over the past 2 years now that maybe it's crocheting? I don't know, maybe graphic design. That thing that you've added to your repertoire as a human being and actor.
Oh man, you know what? That's interesting. The one thing that we have done as a family, we've instituted family reading time together every evening. Like we
Hmm.
would do, each one of us would tap in or tap out to do bedtime reading with my daughter. But we have now started doing every evening doing family reading time, and we sit down together, the three of us, and we read a book of her choosing. She's really into chapter books now, so we're reading the Never Girl series. She loves fairies. She loves like all of the stuff with Pixie Hollow. So we'll sit down together and we will read and we all look forward to it. I find myself getting upset when she doesn't want to read that one. Like, no, I need to know what happens. Like, I'm invested. And it's really nice for us to just connect at the end of the day. We do dinner and that's great. But then just to sit down together and share those moments before we shut it down for the evening has just been something really lovely. And I'm thankful we do it. My husband is working from home. So he's just going constantly. I'm still auditioning from home. Self tapes are a huge thing now,
Yes,
no in person. So self taping is just the way of the game right now. And keeping our heads straight while trying to do that and get the setup and doing all of it, being director, production designer, actor, and just doing the whole thing and just trying to stay calm in the process. But we really are supporting each other, and my daughter is really great with that. She just loves to encourage. Again, she's 6, so her own way of encouraging is really lovely. But she just wants to help, and we take time to cook together and just spend some good quality family time together, and not being out and about all the time like we would if we weren't in the state of the world that we're in.
no, I love it. I want to ask you something that has been on a lot of our minds and of our in our spirit. We just lost a young lady, correspondent the other day, who took her life, and she seemed to have so much going on. She seemed to be accomplishing her goals.
Yeah.
She seemed to be giving us her highlight reel on social media. A woman of color, while you're in these roles and you're performing and you're doing what you love, I just want to ask you, like, what is the best advice um, that you can share with our listeners, our viewers, to someone who is saying to themselves, living life, but there's these demons.
Mm,
And those demons come in different forms, Michelle, as you know. It could be a spouse, verbal or physical. It could be a parent. It could be
yeah.
it could be co-workers. It could be someone in the community. What what is the best advice that you could give to overcome those demons or overcome obstacles during this time?
Thank you for bringing that up, because the past few days and learning of her passing, and to learn that behind the scenes she was struggling, even though you look at her social media and she had help. She was seeing a therapist. She talked about the importance of taking care of your mental health. She was still struggling, even though she looked like she had it all together. She was still struggling. We never know what someone is going through, and they think they may be taking the steps that they need, but they don't realize they need more. You have to start somewhere, and I can say this from my own personal experience. I struggle. It gets hard sometimes. It gets dark. It gets overwhelming. um, After I had my daughter, I had the worst experience with postpartum depression and anxiety. It just took me down this road, and I struggled with it for years. And I didn't know what it was at first until some mom friends of mine said, "You need to see someone. This is what you have." And I was like, but it's a year later. Like, I was compressing so much of it, and we do that. And especially
Mm.
we as Black women, we carry the load, we carry the weight and try and take care of everyone else, and continue to put on the face of, "I got it. It's fine. I'm good. No, I don't need any help right now. I'll let you know when I do," even if we say that. But most of the time we don't, because we think we can get through it ourselves and handle it. Um, Sometimes you just can't handle it. I talk to girlfriends a lot. I have 2 friends that I communicate with regularly, and we constantly check in with each other every day and talk about, "I'm in a funk. I don't feel like doing this. What can we do?" And checking in with each other. I think it comes down to having a community that is very important to you and that will listen. And another thing for me, and Robin Arzon said this recently. She's one of the lead instructors at Peloton, and she said, "Don't feel guilty about your nose. Get to the point where you don't feel guilty about your nose so that you can embrace your yeses." Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. But it was definitely, do not feel guilty about your nose. We have to get comfortable saying no more often to be in a better place to receive our yeses and to feel comfortable in ourselves. And that's something that I've struggled with a lot recently too. I'm not going to feel guilty anymore. There's not going to be any guilt behind that. And I hope that maybe we get a better understanding from her passing, and I hope that it starts a bigger conversation in our
Yes.
communities. Because when I look at her, I see my daughter. I see my daughter. She looks just exactly like her when she's going to be that age. And I look at her and I go, I hope that at that point in her life, she has all the tools she needs and she feels like she has a safe place for all of everything she's carrying to land. So she doesn't have to carry that herself and feel alone. The idea that she felt that way just hurts my heart. It just hurts my heart. And I know she had a family who loved her, and I can't even imagine. It's a struggle. It's important that we as a community start talking about mental
Yes.
health more, and especially in our men. It's so taboo for African American men to struggle with their mental health and to talk about it. We have to we have to do better. We have to establish some way to show the younger generation of young Black men that it's okay to not be okay. That,
Right. Right.
that's the most important thing. It's okay to not be okay. We're
And I
not
talk about
perfect.
that all the time. We pride and ego for men, especially men, call it get in the way and block our own blessing. Women, Black women, especially, how important is it that we begin to take some accountability? If I can, I want you to follow me on this. To be as transparent as we possibly can when it comes to one, the mental health piece, uh, to how we embrace our relationships with each other, right? Sharing moments of where you've been heartbroken, where you've been verbally abused, physically abused, having a miscarriage, abortion, struggling with mental health. That we share this with our girlfriends, our homeboys, our children. In those moments, they could say, "Man, Michelle, I want to talk to you," even if it's just another male coming to you, Michelle. Oh, struggling with this. I didn't go to my wife about it. I didn't want to go to my sister about it. But I want to, if I can't, just sit on the couch with you and just talk. How important is it, Michelle, in your estimation, we have these conversations? Things are no longer taboo. Like, how long are we going to say, "Oh man"? Because I remember uh, going through miscarriage situation, and only for my mom that, yeah, we had one right before you, and you're like, man, so why am I feeling so bad if this thing is kind of normal? And we have girlfriends that won't even the other girl of the opportunity to get out that window to get out of a abusive relationship, only see their girlfriends do it and kind of say, I, get out. I don't know how to. No one's ever taught me how to get out. How important, and I might have went off on the tent. I apologize, but how important, Michelle, that we hear these stories?
It's transparency is so important, because if you're experiencing something and you feel so alone and the weight of it is crushing you and you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to, and then you finally do, or it comes out and you have two or three people going, oh yeah, I went through that, oh you should do this or you should have done that, and you're like, well, no one ever talks about it. How come we don't communicate better when it comes to this stuff? We have to do better. It's, again, I think it comes back to finding your people. I think that's a huge thing, finding your people. And it's great to have a lot of friends. It's wonderful. But as we get older and we see things differently and we start experiencing different things and we start narrowing down our community and surrounding yourself with people who support you and honestly listen to you and
Yes.
hear you, it's so important, because then you can have those moments. You can say, I'm having a bad day, I'm struggling, and they will say, I'm calling you right now, do you need me to FaceTime? And different times, I'm coming over, I'm going to sit with you, what do you need right now? I'm going to share my experiences with you, someone in my family went through this. It's keeping the lines of communication open, and honestly finding those people. It may not be your family, it may not be your family, may not understand. It may be people that you honestly choose. And people say friends are the family that you choose. That ends up happening. You
Right.
find those people who will listen to you, who feel everything you're saying, and can pour into you from their own experience or from someone else's experience that they have learned of. And it all comes down to communication. It just does. And we starting that when they're young, starting that when they're young, and letting kids understand and know it's okay to communicate. Don't be ashamed about what you're feeling. Your feelings are valid. It is just fine, because we as adults still get shamed about the way we feel and we shut down. And that doesn't help any of us. And we can't help anyone else if we are not opening up ourselves and being honest about what we're feeling. And again, I'm gonna say it's communication. It just comes down to communicating.
Communication.
Yeah, and feeling like you have a place for all of that stuff to land. Because if you don't, you're just gonna keep it in. It's just gonna keep weighing us down.
And the shows Winner Circle motivate you. So it's really important to have that inner circle. Who is in your winner circle? You have to curate. You have to figure out who make lists. I was interviewing Jay Holiday the other day, and he said something so profound, but it was so simple. He said, "Everybody can't go. Everybody can't come." Right. So we have to be mindful of the people that we surround ourselves with and who's in our village.
That's right.
I want to talk about the latest project, Madness. Man, Michelle, this is really dope. For those who don't know, this movie, to set the stage, two couples meet, painful and raw conversation in the aftermath of a violent tragedy. How was filming this movie? And to me, what I from the movie is the word forgiveness. How important is the need for forgiveness?
Well, let's just say the weight of this movie is so powerful, and the fact that these parents come together searching for forgiveness, not knowing if it's even possible. Like they're there to explore, and it's just also emotionally charged, and it's complex, and they have these conversations with the hope of finding forgiveness. Is it possible? Are they forgiving themselves? Are they forgiving the other people? Like what needs to be forgiven? Going into this movie, having read the script, I connected with Kendra so much. I didn't have the idea of saying no. Once I read it, it landed so hard in my heart. At that time, I was a new mother of a 2-year-old. When Fran decided to write this movie, we were both impacted by the Parkland shooting. And my daughter was 2, and it just weighed on me what I should do and trying to figure out how to help the world. And then Fran decided that he was going to write this beautiful work. So when I read what he poured into this project, I connect with her. I connect with these parents, each set on a different level. And the fact that it's so powerful, and you walk away from it and it makes you continually think, what would I do? How would I want to have this conversation? What would my response be? Would I want to look you in the face? Would I forgive you? Is that even?
I want to be in the same room with you. I want to be sit across from you.
I don't know. It hits you, man. And I get goosebumps still the same. When I watch it, I still feel like it's like I've never seen it. And I'm in the movie. And it's like I've never seen it. It hits me so hard each time. And each time I see it, I see something different, and it affects me in a different way. I see new things every time. It is absolutely powerful. And the way that Anne and Martha and Reed and Jason embody their characters, and watching their characters affect them in such a way that you honestly just look at them and go, I can't help but feel for you in this situation. I can't, because the way society is, and in these situations, you would basically choose what side. Well, of course they're right. No, this side is right. But is there a right or wrong with these people? They are all looking for some sort of resolution, Some of them don't want to be bothered really with doing this whole sit down and talk. Others really, really want some sort of resolution and need it and need to hear certain words. Now, whether or not they ever hear it, I'm not saying they do or they don't, but
Right.
there's a need there. There's a need there. And as an actor watching, I call them the core four, watching the core four every day have this master class, I was blessed. I was so blessed to be on that set with those people. Let me tell you right now.
And there's
I
some
had
hard
no
hitters
idea.
there. How was working with Reed? Like he is
I love Reed.
like he
Reed is such an amazing actor. And he's funny. First of all, he is really funny and silly, but watching him dive in to Richard and make Richard everything that he is it was shocking and beautiful. He's a lovely human being, but watching him bring us Richard, I was just like, I don't like you. I don't, but he did his job because I was
he did his
mad.
job well. He
He
did his
did
job
his
well.
job. He really did his job. And yeah, Anne and Martha, whew, yeah, watching them transform and watching Anne embody Linda and just watching Linda take over. And I was just in awe. I was just in awe. And she's just the loveliest, sweetest person. I know everyone's like, "Ooh, she's Aunt Lydia. She's scary. Ooh, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm." She's I just hug. Oh, I just want to hug her. Like, yeah, yeah.
Now, did you walk away with as it pertains to forgiveness? Because this is a movie that really puts people in a room across from each other. You said looking for answers, looking for closure, maybe. A lot of us gone through things, losing, like forgiveness is a word that I think has lost its true meaning. I think what cancel culture and all these other things going on. How important is forgiveness, Michelle?
Forgiveness is forgiveness is so important to move on and move forward. And forgiveness looks different to all of us. One thing I've learned over the years is forgiving for yourself, not necessarily doing it for the other person, but doing it for yourself so that you can move on. And in the movie, Martha and the need that she has for this, and watching her struggle with it and wanting to have that from them, not knowing if she's going to get it and reaching for it and finally just seeing her come to what she comes to. And you see that forgiveness is necessary on so many levels. It's hard to come by. A lot of times it's really hard to come by. When you get it or when you're able to give it, I feel like it's very, very freeing. And like I said, you can move forward. I think that's what I feel about it.
You are an amazing actress. You're going through the world a little differently as it comes to acting and audition. People who are trying to navigate life, trying to pay their rent, pay their mortgage, trying to put their kids through school, they're trying to figure out what's next in COVID. What has been the piece of advice that you have been given that you would share with someone that's looking through the lens of trying to find the light at the end of the tunnel? But let's just say you're trying to give this advice been given to your younger self.
Wow, it's interesting. I've thought about not exactly that over the past few years with COVID and looking at things differently and looking at my daughter and advice that I would give her. And I think that one of the best things I would say is be patient with yourself. Give yourself grace. Give yourself some grace. We beat ourselves up so much. We try, it doesn't work. Then there's self-deprecating talk. Give yourself some grace. If you want it bad enough, you will continue to work for it and fight for it, because we all know anything worth having is worth fighting for.
Yes.
And if it's for you, you will have it. But along the way, it's not easy. Nobody ever said it was. Scratching and scraping and trying to get by. But again, in all of that, just be patient with yourself and don't give up if you want it. And I would definitely say that to my younger self. Be patient. I find myself saying that to my daughter all the time. She's 6. She gets frustrated when she can't get the Legos together right or whatever. And I was like, be patient with yourself, be patient with your toys, and look at it differently. Try and find a solution instead of getting mad at it. Let's breathe first and then figure out how we're gonna fix it. And I think that's for all of us. Breathe first, breathe through it, and then let's find a way to fix it and not just getting mad at it. That's
Mm,
that's all I
I
got.
I love that. You have traveled through this journey, being this graceful individual. Music is a soundtrack to our lives, Michelle. For you, what song embodies your journey up to this point? Or what artist for you embodies your journey that you may listen to before you get on set or at home when you and the husband are put your daughter down and just have some personal time. Um, what song best represents this journey, or which artist represents your journey up to this point?
Mm. Well, for me, it's my girl Janet first and foremost. Her journey, yeah, from college on through my life, her music has carried me. I remember walking across campus with rhythm, old school headphones and Walkman, and walking from the theater department to my dorm and listening to Rhythm Nation and getting pumped up and getting that
Mm.
energy moving. And on through the years, through all of her songs, and just tapping into myself, watching her grow as an artist and as a woman of color, and feeling stuff not exactly on the same level, but growing at the same time because of her music. And right now, when I'm trying to get myself hyped up or encourage myself, there are songs that I listen to. There's "Go Get It" by Mary Mary, "Just Do You," India Re, and I have these songs for my daughter to play. We have a Haley's Commute playlist for school, and these songs are on there. Strength, Courage, and Wisdom. Those songs are on there. Like I just, you know, that I need that, and I know I need it, so I try and share that with her too. Those are the songs. Like music is very important to me. Music gets me there. Like music gets me in another headspace. Music heals my heart when I'm not feeling good. I just turn on some tunes, listen to a little India Re, listen to some old school Janet, listen to some Stevie, and I woo-sah, and I find my place. I told you, there's a lot of woo-sah and that has been
A lot of
going on.
stuff going on.
A lot of woo-sah.
Oh man, Michelle, it has been such an amazing time to sit with you and learn more about you. Congratulations on all your success, and I wish you many more blockbuster smashes. And whatever you're working, we're going to pray for you. Where can we sex and how can we for you? How can we support what you're doing?
Oh, you can always follow me on Instagram, the Michelle N. Carter. I'm on Twitter at mcarter43. You guys can find me there. I'm always posting and sharing what's going on. And you can support me by watching, tuning in whenever I'm on. That's the best way. And just showing a little love, dropping by to say, hey, we see you, sis. Congratulations. We support you, girl. Do that. Like, come on for like, I'm here. We're still doing it. I'm good.
We love it. We love it. You heard Michelle, ladies and gentlemen. Don't feel guilty. No's. Let them come. Don't feel guilty. Celebrate the yeses. She says, lead with grace. If you know what you want, you got to work hard for it. But lead with grace those moments. And when you have the opportunity to fill your cup back up and put some more tools in the tool bag, find that opportunity to that. But don't be afraid to say no and what it feels like and how guilty you may feel. Maybe just be uncomfortable with uncomfortable saying you from Michelle. Support her, love what she's doing, follow her. Michelle, I never leave this opportunity. I tell people never leave the opportunity to tell somebody love them, because it may be the time you have the opportunity. So, sister, we love you, we support you, and we're going to be praying for you. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am June Art, as Michelle and Carter. This is the Winner Circle Motivate You. Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless you. Peace.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.